A very lovely woman sent me a note today. Actually, about 5 of you in the last less than 24 hours have said, you're one of the few people who are telling us the downfall areas that we need to know about so that we don't sell our houses, sell everything and move to a country we don't know and just, wing it and think that it's going to be fine and we're not going to get caught out by this stuff. I want you to enjoy your life when you're older. I don't want you to get someplace where you're suddenly impoverished because you've moved here on a whim. You need to know all the facts. That's why I try and give you these discussions. These episodes are meant to make you completely aware and informed. Le Monde. I'm going to give you a list in the show notes of all of this documentation that I have just discovered in the last couple of days. I didn't want to overwhelm you with too many episodes at once. This one is a very important one, so hope you enjoyed the trip to the museum, because this one is very serious. Because there was a loophole. The loophole came in, and this is partly the French government's problem too. I'm sorry, it is. They had what they called a gray area, where they didn't want to offend the Americans and the American government, because they said, oh, well, they've been coming here for generations and they pay for houses and they shop in the stores and, they invest in things, so we shouldn't bother them with all these kind of things. We'll just give them the medical care. So you could come over here with this, in the last few years, with this new visa that all of you want. And within 3 months after getting here, you could get your carte vitale. And then as soon as you have the carte vitale and you sign up for your top-up insurance, which is not much of anything per month, you can get operations and hospital stays and, knee replacements and hip replacements and God knows what. There are some really nice American people who would never choose to do that. They would pay the full whack. But if the loophole is there and it's considered the norm, there were no statistics in the article about how many Americans have chosen to not go down that track. But apparently there are more and more, and because Trump has been in office now for 2 administrations, people think the United States is a gun-toting, dysfunctional place of, I'll just leave it at that. They want to move here. They want a better life. They don't want to be afraid that people are going to be shot going to the grocery store. They want a quieter life, a cleaner life. And that's fine. The French National Assembly gathered to debate the issue, and they have passed the following legislation. Amendment number 1751, with a vote of 176 votes in favor and 79 against. Now, the percentage of what they are going to charge you every month for medical care, for access to medical care, has yet to be determined. Trust me, it's not going to be free. So if you're planning on moving over here and you're in that really slim margin of, ooh, I can just manage it with this tiny little pension that I've got, you may not qualify anymore. And if you get here and you think, oh, happy days, you will be paying more, as your lifestyle has to pay for what the French pay for. That's fair. That's equitable. So, American retirees who freely benefit from Social Security. When they talk about Social Security, they are not talking about what Americans call Social Security, which is your retirement, your pension packet. Social Security over here includes santé, the health. All right, so I've got links from both the Le Monde articles, and there are 2 of them. I have links to the actual amendment, the government document that shows you how it's proceeding. Here's the wonderful thing. Effective December the 1st, wheelchairs are going to be free. Free. A few years ago, Mark and I both had COVID, and afterward, I was left with such weakened legs, plus I have really bad arthritis and a lot of bone pain. And I asked my GP, and she said, no, the medical services here don't pay for wheelchairs. Well, guess what? Now they're going to, effective the beginning of next month. And this includes wheelchairs that are, well over $2,000 or are motorized or whatever. So I've given you a link to that too. And it's another one of those public service documents. Anything that I give you that is a link that's in French, please remember you will either need to use Google Chrome as your browser or Firefox. And when you're using Firefox, you look at your address at the top and there's a little funny symbol up here. You click on it and it translates it into English. You can't know what I'm telling you if you're looking at a French site going, well, why did she send us something in French? I'm not doing translations. I'm sorry. I've got enough stuff going on with all these things. So please translate and understand that now you can get a French wheelchair and it's not going to cost you. That's amazing. All right. A woman said to me the other day, if I arrive with 3 months worth of prescriptions, what am I going to do if I can't get into a GP and get accepted in the practice? And I said, this is not even a problem. You go to a pharmacy that carries one of those telehealth consultation booths. There's several companies that do that. Telehealth is a growing thing in France. We might discuss that a little further in another episode. You go in and you sit down and they dial it up for you and you're talking to a doctor at the other end of the screen, and they will make sure that you're talking to someone who speaks English, and you have a copy of your prescription and you show them what it is you take. You explain the however many milligrams or whatever, and they can write you a prescription and they will literally send it by email to the pharmacy that you're sitting in. They may not give it to you the very same day. They might, I don't know. It depends on how busy they are. But the pharmacy can fill that for you. And then you have a permanent record at the pharmacy of your medication. So no, you're not going to be left in the lurch. If you come over here, telehealth will help you out. It's absolutely wonderful. One more time, thank you to all the people who have sent lovely and pleasant notes. Not thank you to the people who have said things like some man the other day going, oh, well, no one gives a crap about your everyday life. Just give us the information we want to know about how to move to France. I just think that's incredibly crass. We have lovely members in this group who do care about what Mark and I do. You do care about Mark riding his bicycle, baking his oat cakes, me working up in the studio, all the different, you have no idea how many hours. I do about 70 hours, 60 to 70 hours a week on average doing research. I have loved every minute of it though. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. So if you send me nasty notes, you will be removed from the group. Because we have a nice group here. You do care about what we do and about how we feel about the world. Again, thank you for the people who do buy me a coffee, and you now have another choice with Patreon. So all of this will be in the show notes. It doesn't need to get any nastier. Let's all lift each other up, okay? Let's be kind to one another. Let's be kind in the comments, for God's sakes. let's just think about other people, not just ourselves first. So, okay, if that's being a Pollyanna, too bad. I hope for the best for everybody, and I don't always get it. All right. Have a good week. Bye for now.